man charged in Tupac Shakur's murder is speaking out from behind bars for the first time. Dwayne "Keefe D. Davis insists he was 300 miles away when the rapper was shot. Now he's pointing the finger at someone else.
What if everything you thought you knew about Tupac Shakur's legacy was a lie for nearly 30 years? Fans believed his name was protected, his music honored, and his memory safe. But when investigators finally unlocked a private garage tied to Tupac, what they uncovered was shocking. Not unreleased albums, not treasured memorabilia, but evidence of betrayal, forgery, and a hidden fortune. This isn't just a missing music mystery, this is a full-blown cover-up. If you care about music, justice, or truth, don't scroll past, because what they found in Tupac's garage changes everything. Keep watching. On September 13, 1996, Tupac Shakur died at just 25 years old. The world lost one of its most electric performers. But what no one knew then was how financially devastating that moment was. Despite selling over $60 million worth of albums that year alone, the official police inventory stated that Tupac had only $15.00 in his bank account at the time of his death. He didn't own the Woodland Hills mansion he lived in. His only assets were the BMW he was killed in and a Hummer H1. No will, no trust, no plan. The empire he built was seemingly erased overnight. Under California's intestate succession laws, everything legally passed to his mother, Afeni Shakur. She inherited not just her son's music, but also a legal and financial nightmare. Industry insiders were puzzled. How could a man dominating the charts with hits like California Love and an album like All Eyes on Me be broke? Something didn't add up, and as the years went on, that mystery only deepened. To the public, Afeni Shakur was seen as a warrior. She stepped up and founded Amaru Entertainment to handle her son's vast catalog. She fought hard to ensure his voice lived on. Albums like Are You Still Down and Still I Rise were released, bringing Tupac's unreleased work to the surface. His message continued to reach the masses. But while she worked tirelessly in the spotlight, shadowy figures behind the scenes began moving differently. Business managers with silver tongues stepped in. They promised to help the family navigate royalties, publishing, and music licensing. But in truth, they were constructing an empire for themselves, one built on contracts the family barely understood, and trust they never controlled. These helpers began funneling money through shell companies. Quietly, they rewrote Tupac's legacy not through lyrics, but through legal documents. They moved master recordings, signed rights away, and made deals that benefited them more than the estate. Behind the scenes, contracts were being created, financial structures set up, and money began disappearing into invisible hands. The family, still grieving, had no choice but to trust the experts, but their trust was being systematically exploited. Then came the 2008 fire at Universal Music Group's storage facility in Los Angeles. At first, it was dismissed as minor, but word spread quickly. Thousands of master recordings might have been destroyed. Was Tupac's archive among the wreckage? Panic spread throughout the industry. But as investigators dug deeper, they found something surprising. Tupac's most valuable recordings had been moved months earlier, not to another official facility, but to a private garage once owned by the rapper himself. A garage located in Los Angeles, transformed into a high-security, climate-controlled storage space. For years, this garage remained sealed. Even estate lawyers weren't fully aware of its contents, but when it was finally opened, it didn't just reveal tapes and memorabilia, it exposed a scandal. Inside were dozens of unreleased, professionally produced tracks. These weren't demos or scraps. These were finished songs, some solo, some with high-profile collaboration, songs that fans had never heard, songs that had the potential to generate millions. There were more than just tapes. Boxes of personal items, photos, contracts, and financial records filled the space. And within those contracts, investigators found altered versions of legal documents, wills, publishing rights, and estate authorizations that bore subtle but significant differences from the originals. The ink and paper didn't match, signatures were inconsistent. The deeper investigators looked, the more it became clear a massive cover-up had taken place. The financial records uncovered painted a chilling picture. In some cases, a single royalty payment passed through 5 different entities, each taking a cut, before a portion trickled down to Amaru Entertainment. Many of these businesses had no staff or physical office. Their sole function appeared to be absorbing profits without drawing attention. While the family received polished financial reports, spreadsheets found in the garage told the real story. Some tracks earned millions in royalties, but after deductions, And processing through these middleman companies, the family might only receive a small fraction. This wasn't sloppy management. It was a deliberate, organized system built to keep the estate's value hidden while maximizing third-party profit. What shocked experts even more was how these fraudulent documents had been legitimized. Real lawyers had filed them. These weren't amateur forgeries, they were professionally executed alterations created to hold up in court and block family members from contesting decisions, but the truth refused to stay buried. In July 2025, a shocking turn of events forced everything into the light. During an unrelated investigation into Tupac Shakur's 1996 murder, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department unintentionally released sealed estate documents files that had been locked away for nearly 3 decades. What those documents contained shattered the official story and sent shockwaves through the music industry. From the beginning, it turned out authorities had known far more than they let on. The original estate inventory, which had been portrayed as meager and incomplete, actually listed an astonishing collection of Tupac's personal and professional items. Among them were his rare jewelry, including the iconic diamond-encrusted Death Row Records pendant, his signature stage outfits, and platinum plaques from Me Against the World and Tupacalypse Now. Also included were pinball machines, furniture from his Woodland Hills residence, and handwritten lyrics to legendary tracks like Dear Mama and California Love. But none of these assets had been disclosed to Tupac's beneficiaries. They had all been quietly removed from public records and held back under the claim of long-term investment value. In other words, they were deliberately hidden, shielded from Afeni Shakur and her family for decades. That same year, Sakiwa Shakur, Tupac's half-sister, filed a bombshell lawsuit against Tom Whalley, the estate manager and former executive at Interscope Records. She accused him of embezzlement, concealment, and intentionally blocking the family's access to the estate's assets. Her lawsuit alleged that Whalley had been using Tupac's legacy for personal and commercial gain without properly informing or compensating the heirs. Her legal filings included damning evidence. A paper trail showing estate materials were used in projects like the Wake Me When I'm Free museum exhibit in Los Angeles, all while keeping the family in the dark. Items displayed for public admiration were the very things that had been secretly stashed away. Since 1996, as the legal battles heated up, others began coming forward. Longtime collaborators like Daz Dillinger, Johnny J, and Shock G revealed that they had been holding onto unreleased tracks, some for decades, while some returned them to Afeni Shakur, hoping to make things right. Others admitted they feared bootleggers or exploitation from labels. By this point, it was clear Tupac had left behind a staggering legacy of over 100 unreleased songs. Many of these tracks, including fan favorites like Unconditional Love, Still I Rise, and Changes, had never been properly included in the official estate count. Even now, more than 80 unreleased Death Row-era songs continue to float around online, never officially released, never properly credited, and never earning royalties for Tupac's estate. Storage Unit 247 in Ventura Boulevard was discovered to contain over 100 digital audio tapes. Unit 189 in Van Nuys held recording equipment and mixing boards worth hundreds of thousands. These units were leased by Tupac before his death, but were never included in the estate's original appraisal. As the lawsuits and investigations unfolded, it became evident that Tupac's estate had been vastly undervalued from the start. His music publishing company, Ghetto Gospel Music, still held rights to tracks by other artists. Today, individual Tupac verses sell for hundreds of thousands. Albums like Until the End of Time and Remember Me still generate millions. The Coachella hologram performance in 2012 earned record-breaking licensing fees. The value of Tupac's estate, once thought to be a meager $15,000, is now estimated at $40 million and climbing. But perhaps the most tragic part of this entire story is this: the legacy that millions believed was being honored and protected was actually being monetized and manipulated. Afeni Shakur, who dedicated her life to preserving her son's message, was unknowingly surrounded by individuals profiting off her trust. Her fight for justice, transparency, and truth was noble, but in many ways, she was fighting a system rigged against her from the start. For nearly 3 decades, fans thought they were celebrating a legacy intact, but in truth, that legacy had been fragmented, hidden, and repurposed. Tupac's words changed the world, but behind closed doors, his empire was being run not by vision but by greed. In the end, this wasn't just about lost music, it was about a stolen legacy. Tupac Shakur's voice was buried under lies, not lost to time. Now the truth is out. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe.